In 1920, the world-famous escape artist Harry Houdini made this incredible boast to the world's press: "Nothing can hold me captive against my will." What a massive statement that is, considering that the human life seems to be defined by a relentless quest for freedom, something that most people never seem to find. Harry Houdini was born into a deprived immigrant family in America, a world away from the global superstardom that he later experienced thanks to his mesmerizing ability to extricate himself from seemingly impossible restraints. At one point, he was pulling in about $100 every time he performed. Not bad, considering that was about the price of the average house in America at the time. Now, Houdini was in London, grabbing the attention of the British public with a high-profile escape from the cells of Scotland Yard. The daredevil escapologist offered huge sums of money to anyone who could supply a security device that he could not overcome. Master locksmith William Fenton was right up for the challenge and dug out an old lock that had been made by his great-grandfather back in 1750. Jesus encountered so many individuals who were in chains and straitjackets, not necessarily the ones that you could see, but restraints that held them captive against their will nevertheless. Chains of poverty and rejection, straitjackets of hopelessness and fear. And to those people, Jesus said, if the Son of God sets you free, then you will be really free. The Fenton Lock is effectively 3 locks in one. The first chamber is protected by wards or projections just behind the keyhole, and only the key that has the slots cut in the right configuration can pass through the first chamber and on into the second one. The key passes straight through the second chamber and on into the third. Here it must be rotated a quarter of a turn before being pulled back into the second chamber, which contains a tumbler, a kind of lever that locates into a slot in the bolt. That must be raised just enough by the key to be pulled backwards, which will release the bolt and open the lock. William Fenton knew that only the original master key could open the lock. Harry Houdini was the expert on locks. Whenever he was faced with a new device, he would buy 2 of them. The first to dismantle, the second to practice on. And so faced with something so utterly unique as the Fenton Lock, he was understandably extremely cautious. And so, the master escape artist asked the master locksmith for permission to take the back off the lock. Fenton denied Houdini's request and the challenge was refused. Houdini wouldn't touch it, later describing it as the finest lock that he had ever encountered. Jesus was all about opening locks as well, but a different kind of lock for a different type of purpose. For people trapped in prisons of hopelessness and despair, Jesus let them out. For others, he seemed to unlock the treasures of God's love. Here's what the great preacher Charles Spurgeon said about Jesus Christ. He holds the master key to all the chambers of God. There is no treasure house that will not open its doors to the person who truly follows him. Maybe your life is like the Fenton Lock, a complex set of challenges, obstacles, and problems. Maybe you feel like you are always trying to find the key to life. Jesus still sets people free today.